Okay, so a couple other things to continue pushing forward on this car. I'm going to quickly combine these two objects and merge them, and just as we did in class the other day. So, quick little shortcut: select the object and press Shift I. That will bring you into isolate mode. Press W for the move tool and hold V for snapping, and then just go ahead and snap these into place as needed, and delete whichever ones don't need to be there. So this one will go here, this one could go here, or I'm pressing Control Delete. That will delete any edges and vertices. If I just press delete, you'll notice I still have these vertices here that need to be deleted. But if you highlight the entire edge, press Control and delete, you'll notice that there are no more vertices there. So that's another useful little tip. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both vertices and merge the vertices. And I'm going to do that for each one of these. I'm pressing G as the last tool used. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, if your vertices are off and you want them to be perfectly lined up with this set, just again hold V and just move it along this axis. This will line them up perfectly along one another here in this axis. And it looks like I need to extrude. So I'll extrude here, and I'm going to use my scale tool from the center, scale them out, and now in my move tool, snap each one of these edges again. Okay, if I press 3, you're going to notice this side is lined up. You'll notice this side is merged because it doesn't do this pass through. So once I merge these vertices together, it'll slowly start to get rid of any errors like that when we enter smooth mode to double check it. If you see anything happening like that, you'll know that you didn't merge the vertices. So I press 3 and you'll notice they're doing the same thing on both sides. The other thing is I can go ahead and fill hole. I'm going to highlight this entire edge as long as all the vertices are merged. Hold Shift, right click, fill hole. Do the same thing here. And it's again hold Shift, right click, fill hole. And I'm going to do it one more time here. And now I've got the topology on both sides that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this for now, as that was a previous one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create this pocket here for the fender for the light, the headlamp. So what I'm going to do is, first thing is I'm going to select all these faces. I just click one, hold Shift, double click the other one. It'll select the entire edge loop. As long as you have a clean edge loop, it'll select the entire edge loop. Then I'm going to hold Shift and right click and go add divisions to faces. And that did not work. Let's see if it works here. And that did not work either. So that's supposed to work, but it didn't. To show you that I am not lying, I'll show you on this example here. I'm just going to undo it, add divisions to faces. You'll see it adds one division to face on that direction, on the U direction there, but if I do V, it works fine there. So another way I can do this, since it won't cooperate, if I hold Control using my multi-cut tool, I can simply include an edge loop real easily that way. Now the reason for this is because I'm going to add the headlamp socket, and in order to do that I'm going to start with a sphere. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees on this axis. And I'm going to move it up and snap it to the center there for now, and I'm going to go enter my front viewport just to get the scale correct, and it's something like this. And in my attribute editor, under polysphere, I'm going to change this to 8. And this one probably 8 as well, because I'm going to keep it low poly. And I'm going to simply delete 1/2 of it. And the other thing I'm going to do, just like we did earlier, is I'm going to select these outer edges and extrude them like so. And on this example here, I'm going to delete these faces. And on this object, I'm unable to select that on the black side. You'll notice there's the gray side and the black side. The gray side being the side that you can texture. We'll get to that when we get more into texturing. But if I go to Mesh Display and I do Reverse, you'll notice the entire thing becomes gray again. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to snap these verts. And there we go. You don't have to make that perfectly center. It's not a big deal, but you can. Again, all you do is highlight the entire edge, and V snaps to any vert on any axes, depending on which tool you use. So that's how I did that. We should get pretty used to snapping vertices. And these, there we go. There we go. So now I'm going to combine both of these and merge the vertices. I'm pressing G to merge, to redo the last tool I just used. It's a much faster way to work. Hit 3 to make sure it's all good, and now you have your inset part of that headlamp. One thing you can do as well is you can highlight that entire edge, and we can run a bevel on it, and 2 is fine. And you'll notice when I hit bevel, you get a few more additional edge loops, and that kind of softens it up. I'm going to soften the edge right now. Not so well, but now anyway, I'm not going to soften edge just yet because it's starting to give some little weird shading issues. But you'll notice you'll get that much harder edge on that with the bevel. So when you smooth it, you get this much harder edge. And once I finally do decide, okay, I'm ready, I can hit a smooth. Object smooth, there we go. And you see that you start to get that same shape. And that's how you make objects high poly. But for now, we're going to stick with the low poly version. It's really it today. It's the same thing we went over yesterday. Yeah. Any questions? Just shoot me a message on Canvas or email. And that's about it. So, just try to have this, your model, up to this point. And there we go. Have it sort of up to this point as best as possible, and make sure you submit a JPEG of it in smooth mode so I can see that your vertices are merged. The whole point of this, these labs, were to make sure that you learned how to combine objects and merge vertices, and then to easily inset shapes such as this instead of extruding, to try to create a perfect circle inset, as well as creating this circular round shape for the fender. Because anytime there's circles, we want to make sure that we utilize the fact that we have this circle tool. So yeah, and then when we finally get to it, we'll make some final touches on there and make it a little bit more close to the reference, and we'll be good. So that's all there is to it. Just make sure that you're merging those verts, and doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be similar, and that's about it. So yeah.